I'm going to give you 5 tips on how you can protect yourself from a lawsuit from one of your clients due to a cybersecurity breach. This is based off of an actual lawsuit that happened back in 2020 where a client sued their MSP claiming that they lost over $1.7 million due to a cybersecurity breach. Let's make sure this doesn't happen to you. Before we dive too deeply into today's content, I wanted to invite you to learn a little bit more about who we are and what we do. I'm CJ Perry with ManageMySecurity.com. We offer consulting and managed services for cybersecurity specifically targeted at MSPs and IT departments. We can help you develop a cybersecurity program that you can leverage to increase revenues and reduce risk for yourself and for your customers. For those that are overwhelmed with the cybersecurity landscape, we provide an entire managed cybersecurity platform for MSPs that you can utilize along with sales techniques, contract templates, etc. For those that are more of a do-it-yourselfer, feel free to just subscribe to this channel. We share all of our secrets so you can develop your own cybersecurity program. Also, if you just want to reach out to me and bounce some ideas off, I'm more than happy to. I love helping MSPs reach their goals, so feel free to reach out anytime. Now, back to the content. All right, so let's dig into this lawsuit, see if there's something that we can learn. There's a couple specifics to the lawsuit that really stand out from a liability perspective. At the beginning, you can see part of the lawsuit references the MSP's marketing material. The MSP uses common marketing language. How many of you have something like, "We do IT, so you don't have to," or "You're one-stop shop for IT services"? What this language implies is that you've got every scenario covered, including cybersecurity. Another marketing item is around-the-clock monitoring. Some MSPs use this because they have tools or software monitoring. They might even be available after hours in an emergency situation. But do you actually have staff monitoring everything 24/7? Finally, the MSP mentioned compliance with federal laws and compliance frameworks. It was inferred that the MSP would help with such compliance. Actually going through a compliance audit or making an effort to demonstrate compliance would have gone a long way to preventing a lawsuit. Even offering a compliance service at a cost and having the client formally decline would have put more responsibility on the client rather than the MSP. So let's learn from a few of these mistakes and see how we can better support ourselves. So here's our 5 tips for how we can protect ourselves from a similar lawsuit. Tip number 1, check your marketing material. How many of you guys, again, have one-stop shop for IT services, or "We do IT, so you don't have to"? Just make sure that you're not over-promising when it comes to your marketing material. And if you use terminology like that, make sure that the onboarding process is extremely clear on where your responsibilities are and where your limitations are, especially when it comes to cybersecurity. In the cybersecurity world, it's more about when you're going to get hacked, not if you're going to get hacked. So as long as you're being very clear and upfront with your clients in relation to that and to what the responsibilities of the MSP versus what the responsibilities of the client are in relation to cybersecurity. A lot of cybersecurity breaches come internally from employees and not necessarily due to brute force hacks or things that our automated tools can protect us from. So make sure that's clear from the onboarding process if you're using some of that other marketing, or just change your marketing as well. Tip number 2, check your cybersecurity offerings. What are you offering to your client? Are you all inclusive? Do you have one set of cybersecurity standards and all of your clients have to maintain those? Quite often, especially when we're a smaller or younger MSP, we're just trying to get business. So quite often, we're trying to be price sensitive, we're trying to keep costs low, but some of that means we have to make compromises on what we offer from a cybersecurity perspective. So in that case, at least have multiple tiers of cybersecurity offerings so that you can be a little bit more price sensitive. You can offer the silver plan or the basic plan or something like that, but you have more advanced offerings. Then if a breach occurs, the client doesn't have a lot of legs to stand on when it comes to a lawsuit. You can simply say, "Hey, you didn't take our platinum plan," or "You didn't take our advanced plan," things like that. Now, ideally, you want to protect your client, so be careful with this. There's a certain level of saying, we recommend that everyone be on the advanced plan because that's what we actually do to protect our clients in every single situation. But if you're in that early stages where you're just, you need someone with a pulse and a credit card, and really only one of those is required to become a client, just make sure that you're kind of monitoring what you're offering, what you're not offering. Monitor, let them know at the silver plan or the basic plan or whatever you have, that there's limitations into how you can protect them from a cybersecurity perspective in case of a breach. Because quite often it's those ones that are the cheapest that are also the ones that are going to be the quickest to sue you because you didn't do your due diligence. So just monitor your cybersecurity offerings and make sure that you have the ability to offer them something greater, so that in case of a lawsuit, you can point that out. Tip number 3, work on compliance. Compliance and certifications and things like that, actually going through an audited compliance process, something like SOC 2, or there's plenty of other opportunities out there, both for your MSP and for the client, can go a long way. So sometimes the client doesn't need to go through an audit process. You can try to sell them on the value of something like a SOC 2 certification and how that they can provide better services to their clients. But even if they don't, make sure that you go through some sort of audited compliance process. This goes a long way just to show that you are doing your due diligence. And despite all of the efforts that you did to help from a cybersecurity perspective internally, the client may still get hacked. Again, it's not if you're going to get hacked, it's when you're going to get hacked. So showing that due diligence, going through that process, it'll also show you a lot of gaps that you have within your own organization and with your own business, and how you can better protect yourself, how you can set up better systems for yourself so that you can better protect your clients going forward. Tip number 4, check your contracts. Make sure that you have contract language that clearly defines, again, where does the MSP's responsibility stop? Make sure your contracts state it's not if you're going to get hacked, it's when you're going to get hacked. And here's what the MSP is responsible for during a breach scenario. Make sure the contract specifically states that employees are often the reason for breaches. Clicking on that bad link, downloading that thing, any changing bank account information without going through specific processes to validate that you're changing that bank account information properly. That's where a lot of fraud and that's where a lot of cybersecurity breaches happen today. So make sure that the client understands through the contract, not just in legal language, but make sure as part of the onboarding process, you're walking them through what that means. And if your contracts are really clear, then it's a lot easier to protect yourself during a lawsuit. Tip number 5, check your insurance. Every MSP should have cyber liability insurance. So this protects yourself in case of a cyber breach that really affects your organization and could extend, depending on the circumstances, to your clients. But as we saw in this lawsuit, some of this was in relation to the client claiming that the MSP did not do their due diligence in protecting them from a cybersecurity breach. In that case, errors and omissions insurance is really important. This protects you even if your staff didn't do the proper procedures, didn't go through all of the checks that they needed to do in order to help prevent a cybersecurity breach or be an assistant to the client in case of a cybersecurity breach. Making sure that you have the proper insurance, the proper levels of insurance based on your client sizes and things like that to protect yourself when, again, not if, but when the inevitable happens. So check your cyber insurance, check your errors and omissions on your insurance, really read through the fine print, find out where the limits of that. Sometimes we're going for the cheapest insurance possible, and you get bigger boundaries that may not cover you in a lot of situations. So make sure you have your insurance covered. And since you've stayed through the whole video, now it's time for bonus tip number 6. Outsource your cybersecurity offerings to a third-party MSSP. At ManageMySecurity.com, we offer those types of services to MSPs like yourself. If you're a little bit smaller, you're kind of struggling on how do you offer all of these comprehensive cybersecurity services, or maybe you're struggling to hire specific dedicated cybersecurity professionals because of the salaries that they demand in today's market. We can offer fully comprehensive line of services, including different levels, silver, gold, platinum, or basic and advanced that you can resell to your clients and just get the whole thing off of your plate. It allows you to focus on building your business, developing client relationships, and doing the things that require a little more of that hand holding and high touch with each of your clients, and just take all of that cybersecurity pressure off of your back so you can focus on your business. Reach out to us. We'd be happy to just have a call, or even just kind of go over your cybersecurity offerings that you're having today. We love helping MSPs grow their business. And so give us a call, shoot us an email. We're happy to do it even on an informal basis, or we're happy to provide professional consulting services if that's something you're looking for. So go to managemysecurity.com, see how we can help you grow your business.